Hello, Courtney.
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me, Mandy. How's everything?
Everything's going wonderfully. Courtney is going to be one of 32 authors at our Fall Book Festival 2025. It is happening on Saturday, October 18th, downtown Greer at the historic Greer Depot. I'm so excited.
Yes.
This is a wonderful venue. We've got such a variety of authors, and I can't wait to meet everybody in person and all of that fun stuff. Courtney, tell me about what book titles you're bringing and about those books themselves.
Yes, and before I even get into that, I just want to just take the opportunity just to say thank you, Mandy, for just creating this wonderful community for authors and the community, our family and friends to just be able to come together and truly just create that synergy of just a positive movement of people just getting around literacy. So I just want to take that moment to just say thank you and thank you for the time to come on here. The books that I'm going to be bringing, as Mandy already shared, my name is Kourtney Goff. I have three different books. The first one is my very, very first book, which is called Little Brother Spiritual Motivation for Christians. This book was birthed right before the pandemic, and this one is very special to me because this is the one that got me started. Um,
Mhm.
since then, it has been seven books in 5 years. So it's been a lot of writing called The Writing Bug. And so for this first book, this one here is just really for the people that are looking for encouragement, for motivation, inspiration, just to get through those tough moments of life. You know, we all go through those different moments where you might not be feeling like your best, but just giving that encouragement, like sort of like a daily devotional. You can read a chapter, have a focus for that chapter, then you have takeaways and action items to take
Mm.
after each chapter. So that's one of the things I really love, and people even share on Amazon with their reviews that they love as well. So that book has actually been sold in seven different countries,
Oh.
and yeah, a lot of people. So it's a blessing. It's truly glory to God, and it's even getting to that point. I'll share one thing, and I'll go into the next one. Is that really I didn't even want to write a book. Like, God told me like, "Hey, write a book." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't think he's. I don't know if he's talking to me about that." Like, but that's the honest truth. And I remember telling my wife, we were living in Tennessee at the time, and it was in like 2019. And I said, "Yeah," I was like, "I feel like God is telling me to write a book." And then, like, literally the next Sunday or so, we go to church, and the pastor's preaching, and he's like, "Yeah, God is telling you to write that book, and you haven't started writing it yet." Man, Mandy, I cannot make this up. I cannot.
That is awesome.
I look at my wife. I start hitting her leg. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, he's talking to me." So then, and he was preaching on the premise of Habakkuk 2:2, which is write it down, make it plain. And so for me, when he said that, I said, okay, you know what? He's like, whenever God tell you something, write it down so it don't lose your mind. So I said, okay. Next time he tell me something about his book, I'm gonna write it down. Fast forward, I'm
Mhm.
going to work one day, taking my normal route, and I stop at this red light. I stop at a red light, and God's like, little brother. And I'm like, what? Little brother? I'm like, what does that mean? What are you telling me? Like, I need more. I need more. And
Mhm.
I said, okay, I'm going to just be obedient. So I'm like in my car, in my mind, I'm still having those thoughts of like doubt. I'm like, I don't even have a pen in my car. This is how I'm thinking. Like, I'm like, I don't have a pen in here. I don't have anything to write with. So then I stop. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be obedient. I look through the thing. I find a pen. I scratch. Finally, some ink comes out of there. And I write down little brother. I write down little brother. And from that point, literally, he just kept speaking to me. And I just was being obedient to write down every verse, every chapter that he said. And voila, it's there. Like, it's all, again, that's why I always tell people, like, sometimes the things that God brings us to that we think like we can't do it is true. But with God, we
Mhm.
can do those things. And so for me, this book is truly a testament of that. And it speaks to all of those things in this book. So if you're looking for that encouragement, that's in that book. The second and third one is two of my most recent workbooks that I created. Outside of being an author, I'm the founder of affordable youth mentoring business called Little Brother Inspires. We provide youth mentoring across the world for middle school and high school students. So these
Ooh.
books here are work for the entire year. So you have a Sunday school youth mentor 101 workbook. Gives them 52 weeks of different content, of different focus. The Sunday school version
Mhm.
gives them a scripture every week, gives them 5 or 6 questions. Then they have a check in throughout the middle of the week. And then they just have that,
Mm.
be able to go back and forth with whether that's a tutor, a parent, their teacher, or even just self guided. They have that ability to do that.
Mm. Okay.
That's awesome. You be able to have that. A lot of churches that we partner with, they leverage it. Youth organizations as well, and even schools, private schools. And then this one here is similar to the Sunday school version, and this one is
Mhm.
into our 101 workbook. This one focuses on all things personal development for middle and high school students. Um,
Oh, okay.
Looking for things in regards to just development, whether it's organization, discipline, responsibility. It gives them ability to write their answers in there each week. Again, having the same format as a Sunday school book, so that now that you're able to have a check-in to drive the accountability. That's the biggest thing. What I've learned from working with the youth is that you can have a conversation right here, and then the next week, like, oh, I forgot about it. But then now, if you're able to write it down, if you're able to write it down, now it's easy for them to go back and
Mhm.
on it. And then now, as the parent, the teacher, the tutor, they can now see their progression throughout that workbook. So within these two workbooks, you have 52 weeks. So 2 years worth of content, whether you're looking for spiritual development or personal
Mhm.
development, or even both, which a lot of parents do that when they sign up for the youth mentoring. So those are the books that I'm going to be having at the book festival. I'm looking forward to it, being able to tell people more, even more details in person.
So, what is gonna be coming down after, you've got these titles, and what do you see coming next? More titles, more devotionals, or more novelish, or, what direction are you heading in?
Honestly, there's a couple of directions that I'm thinking about. One of the ones that's on the top of my head, again, working same in the space with the youth mentoring,
Mhm.
because those have literally took off. Like I think I launched those in November, and those are like gone. You can see reviews on Amazon. Like, people need those resources so they don't have to come up with stuff when they're mentoring. There's a bunch
Mhm.
of mentoring programs across the world who are like, hey,
Nice.
oh, this is a program. So for me, I definitely want to stay in that wheelhouse. So I'm going to be
Mhm.
working on even more in depth workbook for maybe possibly high school or even middle school students as well. I'll probably stay in that same niche,
Mhm.
just putting more deeper thought questions in there, because as the kids advance, now they can have the ability to go from this book to then now, hey, we're going to ask even more questions, because as we know, our middle school, high school students are in a world that's completely different than when we were their age. You have social media, you have different things, so we need to be able to put things that's going to allow them to sharpen their sword to be, as best as they can
Mhm.
be in the world. So that's going to be one that's on the horizon. The second one, I'm going to be looking into doing something around marriage. Um,
Oh.
yes, yes, it's definitely a little different. I have some other books that are different, but I want to do something around marriage specifically because I truly feel like that's the core dynamic of a family, having a
Mhm.
family. So if we can get ahead of that to say, okay, making sure these two people, when they get together, have the core understanding of what marriage is all about, then now we create better homes, we create better children who are going to be now future leaders, and it starts with that first relationship right there. So that's one of the things I'm looking to do as well in the near future.
Awesome. I'm just looking at the picture frames behind you, and
Yes,
I see Raising Queens, and then I'm trying to read the other one. It
yes,
says Little Brother, and it looks like an iceberg or an island
yes,
or something.
yes.
Tell us
So
about those.
yes. So as I shared, I did 7 books in 5 years. So it's been a lot of writing going on. So this first book that I wrote here is a series. So there's three books for this series. Little Brother Inspired Spiritual Motivation for Christians. There's three of those books. So that's the iceberg. Oh, actually that way.
Okay.
That's the third edition.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, when people start, you'll just go on Amazon. I can just only tell you, this is just people. You know how it goes. Like, people are going to tell their honest thoughts, people you don't
Mhm.
know, and they love the book. They're like, hey, once I pick up this book, I'm not putting it down. And then once they get that, they go to the next one, they go to the next one. And then in regards to oh, I'm getting my sides twisted up here. This one, Raising Queens, we have two girls and we have a baby boy on the way September 18th. So I'm very, very excited
Oh.
to get here. So this book, Raising Queens, is a daily devotional journal, is for my daughters, and that one has a backstory as well. I becoming a father, I was like, okay, wow. I was like, man, I'm having a daughter. I'm like, wow. Like, and mind you, I come from a family. I'm the youngest of three, hence why it's called little brother. Which in the beginning I said I didn't know where that came from, but God was telling me you're little brother. So yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
Going to be able to inspire all the little brothers in the world that are to you as you mentor them. So I was like, okay, I was like, God, I'm like, man, how do I, like, what do I, what do I give my daughter? I want to make sure they have everything that they need.
Mhm.
And so going through that process, I just was talking to God, praying to God, and I just had these thoughts in my mind. I'm like, man, like, what if I'm not here? Like, I want to make sure they have everything that they
Mhm.
need. And so I started going through the process of writing. Just like I was like, okay, hey, like let's get to it. Let's write. Let's write. And so God gave me like 12 different topics to write about for my daughters. And so in my mind, I was like, hey, I'm writing this for my daughters. They're gonna get
Mhm.
it. I get done with the book. I'm done with the chapters. I'm like, all right, this is it. This is for them. And then I was like, hold on, my girls are only 2 years old. They're not gonna use it. Like, so then that's when God again, he told me, he said, he's like, yes, you're gonna be here for your daughters, but it's some other father and fatherless daughters out there in the world
Mhm.
that need that guidance, that need the
Yep.
guidance to say, hey, okay, what does a true husband look like? What does a boyfriend look like? How do I do my finances? How do I education, like financial literacy, you name it, those details are
Mhm.
in that devotional journal, and it has it laid out. So they have the devotional that they can read, they have questions to follow it, and it's really suggested in the beginning, it's just saying for the father to read it to the daughter or the guardian,
Mhm.
the mother, like, so then now you have that perspective from a male to be able to give them that advice of things that's going to help them be, the best that they can be. So yes, that's one of my books that I love as well. But yes, this is my wall that my wife, this is my office. And one day I came home and my wife created this with my daughters in the background. So it's all of my books and the word inspired, which again, that's just,
Mhm.
I love to inspire. I love to be inspired. I love to inspire others. So they created this wall for me, knowing like when I have interviews and I'm working, like I have this just nice little mood set up in the room. So yes,
Mhm.
so those are all of the books that are behind me, and the other one is the second one there, which is my
Oh, okay.
picture of my middle brother. So again, just going through that whole process of little brother and just keeping that going through the trilogy.
That is so awesome. And how great to have that encouragement from your wife
Hmm.
to put that together for you. I
Yeah.
mean, that is awesome. That's very supportive spouse.
Yes. Shout out to my wife, man. I love her. I'm like, man, listen, I always tell her all the time, I thank God for blessing me with my wife. She's definitely been a blessing to my life, and she supports me because people always ask me, like, how did you write all those books? During that time, and you have two kids, you have a full job, you have a mentoring business, and I'm like, one, God, two, my wife is fully supportive, and we have an open communication and dialogue. Like if I'm like, she
Oh,
knows
that's key.
look, she knows how I am. Like I'm trying to do these so many different things because
Mhm.
that's a purpose and passion that God has put on me to help others. And so if I see somebody, I'm like, all right. But then I'm now learning as you continue to grow through marriage. We're on year 7. I can say, hey, like, hey, does this work for our schedule? Like, if not,
Mhm.
no, because the number one priority is my home. That's my first ministry, my marriage, my children. So I have really learned to balance that. But it's great when you have a spouse that understands where God is calling you to go, and then you just kind of let everything fall from that point in place.
So you've got Little Brother Inspires. So is that now your full-time job, or do you have another job on top of that?
I have another job on top of that. So yes,
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
yes, yes. So that's why I said it's a lot, and it grew so much because I working in corporate and senior leadership. So that's in itself, like you're just having long days. But again, everybody has everybody you what's the how do I want to put this? Like everybody has stuff that they have to do. You can't make
Mhm.
excuses for it. And for me, my biggest thing is like I want to be obedient. Like if God tell me to do something, I got the energy to do it. I want to do it today and not tomorrow because it's truly not promised. That's always my aim and my goal. Do I always hit that? No, but that's
Mhm.
just always what I strive for. But saying all that to say, He really just gives me peace and harmony through it all. Like only way that I'm able to do the stuff that I'm able to do is because of Him. And I look back sometimes and I'm just like, I'm like, wow, like, like sometimes I'm just like, how does even possible? Like, but I just know that again, it's not me. And people will ask me all the time, like, how did you do this? How did you market your book? And I'm like, yeah, this is just God, man. I'm like, I can't tell you. I don't have a market scheme. I didn't spend all this money. This is just God, and I can tell you
Mhm.
what I did from praying and talking to Him, and He made everything work from that piece, from that point. So, yeah, it's truly been a journey, and I've been enjoying it, and just seeing it all come together is a beautiful thing.
So what is your 9 to 5 job?
So I work in telecommunications, so working with
Oh.
technology, so telecommunications and working on customer experience. So all things a person interacts with customer service, improving those customer pain points, and creating, generating solutions that are going to be profitable in our short term and long term
Mhm.
strategy. So that's what I do from a 9 to 5 perspective, and I enjoy that as well because again, I'm able to really lead and just again it's all about the people. Like if I can take
Mhm.
people and get them at this point and get them to this next point, I love doing that. So being able to work with the people, having that inclusive environment and just building partnerships with people you've never met, different countries, different states, but being able to come together for a common goal, I love doing that. And again, that comes from my background of playing, Division 1 basketball. Like I love team stuff. I love
Mhm.
like, come on, let's get together. And that, again, it goes back to the inspiration, like inspiring people because being a point guard, you got to be able to rally the crew together. Hey, man, I need you over here. I need you over here. Let's go. Let's get back. Like, you need that. You need that happening. And so I'm just that person, whether I'm at work or at home, just being able to balance the different things. Again, just that harmony of communication and just understanding what you should and shouldn't do, with timing of it. That all plays a big part of it as well.
So where did you play Division 1 ball at?
Southern Illinois University.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. So in Chicago. Well, so Carbondale, but outside of Chicago.
Okay.
Mhm.
So Southern Illinois University is outside Chicago.
Carbondale. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Carbondale, Illinois. Yep. So yeah, and then because I know you're from Michigan, so it's in that kind of. It's not too far, but it's there. But it's in the Midwest. But yeah, it's there. It's, yep. So Mid Valley.
Awesome. So I assume it was your 9 to 5 job that brought you to um,
Greenville.
the Greenville, South Carolina area.
Yes.
And what a wonderful area. And say we've been down here for a year, just over a year now, and it has been so wonderful.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to meet you in person. Um, hopefully your wife and kids can make it out. Although you're gonna have an itty bitty one,
Yeah. So that's
so
another.
that's a
Yes.
huge question mark whether she'll want to take the
Yeah.
itty bitty one out.
Right, right. So that's up in the air right now, and again, conversations like once someone in my network shared with me this opportunity, I tell my wife that's fair. I'm like, hey, this seems like a great opportunity. I was like, hey, she's like, oh, I'll be up and going and moving and groups. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like, so she'll have all three that day. So we'll be able to balance that out. But I don't know if she'll be there because Mama Bear is probably gonna be holding the baby boy
Yeah,
close.
I was gonna say only about a month old.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yep. So yeah, he's gonna be right
Don't
on
know if
the
you want them out in the world with all the germs
all
and
the germs. You know how that goes. You know when you start everybody sanitizing, like, hey, don't come over here until you wash those hands, all that good stuff. Yeah, like, and it's funny, we were talking about that. When you have I don't know how many kids you have. When you have your first child, you're like, sanitize. Like, you pick that up, you put that in the hot boiling water, you clean it off, and then the
yep.
second child come, you're like, all right, here you go. Like, just pick it up off the ground. Like, it gets to that point. And I remember, I don't know if it was Toyota or a Hyundai, like somebody had a commercial where the mom was doing that, and it was just like, okay, the first child she was doing that, and the second child, third child, Jesus was like, yeah, they'll be fine. She's okay. Let her fall. Like that's how it gets to that point. That's exactly how it is.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, I greatly appreciate you coming on here, taking the time to tell us all about your books that you've got that you're going to be bringing with you. And I say, I can't wait to meet you in person.
That's awesome. Same here. I'm looking forward to meet you as well as meeting the rest of the community. Thank you again for putting this together. This is awesome. Huge shout out to you and your team because again, we
Oh,
wouldn't even
thank
be here
you.
to do this if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. And I'll see you in October.
All right. See you then.